From the Detroit Free Press, in the heart of the Motor City, it's Thursday, June 25th. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bush's.com/join-our-team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join-our-team.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Kerry Jr. II. Gyms were supposed to open today, but last night the decision was made to delay reopening. The U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals decided Wednesday evening to postpone the reopening of fitness facilities. The court is waiting until after an appeal to the reopening decision is heard. Last week, U.S. District Judge Paul Maloney ruled to reopen gyms. He argued the governor's order isn't clear why some gyms in one region of the state are open while facilities in other regions remain closed. Whitmer's lawyers argue that reopening despite her order could create more confusion and ultimately undermine the state's fight against the virus. They also argue that Judge Maloney's decision disrupts a precedent, one that suggests the governor should be able to set policies during times of emergency, and that she can do that without being second-guessed by federal courts. The three-judge panel indicated that legally speaking, Governor Whitmer was on solid ground in her decision to keep gyms closed. The state health department reports 323 new cases and 4 new deaths. There are nearly 62,000 cases of the novel coronavirus in Michigan. Over 5,800 people in total have died from the disease. The Detroit Tigers have had one player and one staff member test positive for the coronavirus. That's according to General Manager Al Avila. Avila didn't identify the individuals, but he said that both are going through the recovery process. The player that tested positive is not based at the team's spring training facility in Lakeland, Florida, and the staff member is not a baseball operations employee. The MLB will have a 60-game abbreviated season starting late July. This news comes 1 week before the Tigers report to training camp on July 1st. Veterans who live in Oakland County are eligible for financial assistance. County officials are offering up to $2,500 in aid to military vets and their dependents who are struggling because of the pandemic. $500 is to be used for food and is distributed in increments of $150. The funds come from the Oakland County Veterans Service Fund created by the County Board of Commissions. Veterans who have received an honorable or general under honorable conditions discharge from the military are eligible to apply. Applicants must be a resident of Oakland County. The application can be found on Oakland County's website. That's the latest. For more information about COVID-19 in Michigan, visit www.freep.com.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Keith Matheny. No radioactive waste will be stored underground long-term within a half-mile of Lake Huron. Ontario Power Generation, for more than 16 years, had worked on an idea to store about a half-mile underground the low to intermediate radioactivity waste from its 20 nuclear reactors. But the proposed location angered many in Michigan. Kincardine, Ontario, only about a half-mile from Lake Huron. The utility has now shut down that plan after a local First Nations tribe failed to support it. That still leaves the problem of all the radioactive waste in interim storage above ground around all of Ontario's nuclear power plants, and another plan to store deep underground forever even more highly radioactive used nuclear fuel from all of Canada's nuclear power plants has been narrowed to 2 potential sites, and one of them, South Bruce, is less than 15 miles from Lake Huron.
I'm Frank Witzel with the Detroit Free Press. Michiganders most likely will miss out on the hazy skies and glowing sunsets and sunrises that a giant dust cloud is causing as it travels thousands of miles from Africa to America. But chances are, by now, you've heard of the cloud and your Instagram is full of photographs illustrating how the dust is making the heavens glow yellow, orange, and red as if it were on fire. National Weather Service meteorologist Alex Mannion said it doesn't look like the cloud is headed to Michigan. Still, over the weekend, satellites and an astronaut in space took photographs of the cloud. And Mannion said in the southeastern United States, the Saharan dust is expected to transform skies, suppressing storm foundations. But it also could end up aggravating people's respiratory conditions. And that means missing the cloud also has a silver lining.
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department and a look at what Major League Baseball will look like over the upcoming weeks. Here's what we know. The Detroit Tigers will resume preparation for the season next Wednesday at Comerica Park. 60 different players will report in shifts so as to limit contact with other players. The 60-game regular season, which was officially agreed upon by the baseball owners and players, will begin on July 24th. The Tigers will only play teams in their own division and the National League Central. Meanwhile, the Tigers said on Wednesday that one player and one staff member have tested positive for the coronavirus. GM Al Avila did not share the names of either the player or the staff member. And since the season will be so short, the Tigers have a chance to make the playoffs, right? Well, not if you ask the USA Today, which projects the Tigers to win just 20 games, the worst in baseball.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.